To draw attention to the number of veteran suicides that occur each day, an online video challenge has been periodically viral for the last several years. It's commonly called the 22 Push-Up Challenge, where participants show themselves performing their interpretation of 22 push-ups, alone, in a group, consecutively pushed, tag-teamed, or asynchronously, to raise awareness about the statistic of 22, using a symbol associated with service members, the push-up. The connection is clear with the choice of symbol reasonable, but what does the push-up say about suicide? I am a veteran. I continue to work on a base and with other veterans and active service members. Most of my friends are other veterans or active service members or dependents. This is my community, and it is a community too familiar with suicide. When I was at basic training, one of my battle buddies in my platoon told me that each time we went out to the range, he thought about turning the rifle on himself. It was a bit offhanded of a comment, but it was while we were holding our rifles, waiting to clear them, and his voice and eyes contained sincerity, and he was holding the means to commit the fantastical act. I knew there were mental health resources that could help him. We had learned about resources for suicide prevention, sexual harassment, and assault, as well as equal opportunity, seemingly immediately following the shark attack, getting off the bus with our bags. I reported my friend's suicidal ideation to my drill sergeant that evening, as was the standard operating procedure. They had him go to behavioral health straight away for an evaluation and then released him the next day. Standing in the platoon, unsure of what to say or how to approach my friend after his release, my friend expressed to me that he was mad at first that I had told, but then grateful to me that I had cared enough to tell. He remained a close battle buddy for the remainder of that summer, until we went to our separate advanced individual training. He would be a combat medic, I would be a linguist. Months later, one of our mutual battle buddies called to let me know he had hanged himself after returning home from training. The mutual battle buddy had remembrance bands made in his honor, with his name and dates engraved in the same way you would have done for a buddy who died overseas, for those who pay the ultimate sacrifice. This was my first experience with such a thing. I did not blame myself, but I did question. The what-ifs haunted me. Should I have followed up more, loved him harder, relentlessly pursued him with the portion of goodness and mercy that I possess? A life shaped and prepared to die honorably on the battlefield becomes a life shaped and stolen. They say, certainly there's nothing valiant in it, just breath is stolen. The valor lies elsewhere. The depreciated mental state must be given grounds, accounted for, quantified. They ask, but was it PTSD? Did they spend time in a war zone? Did they see combat? Because that does it to you, that makes sense. I don't understand. The number has allegedly gone down in recent years. Is it from 22 to 21? 2100, 9 p.m. At 2100 hours, TAPS is played. TAPS is the signal of the end of the day and is played alone to honor service members who paid the ultimate price. I wonder about the choice to represent vet suicides per day with the symbol of strength, the push-up, when really we want to encourage seeking help as strength or vulnerability as courageousness. Does the push-up symbol do this? Would it be better to show a push-up collapsing? I think we need to show strength failing and support for that perceived failure. If pushing for a physical fitness test, you do push until fatigued, you push until your body fails. You start shaking, slowing, breathing heavier. You look weak as you work those muscles as far as they will go. You maintain form until you cannot anymore. You go to the limit. Out of context, the moments of weakness at that limit would look embarrassing. Those are the moments we need to show and accept. We need to eradicate the shame from our ranks. A lasting motif in the training and indoctrination of the military suicide prevention campaign is that seeking help is a sign of strength. People say it often, but I'm not sure if I know many people that believe that. I understand that the message is attempting to promote the idea that self-awareness is a strength, but I think it might be more effective to call it as it is. We need to recognize the vulnerability involved in asking for help and not mask it as a strong posture. It needs to be okay to be weak for those moments when our minds are at a maximum load, at capacity, in the collapsing. Service members need to be able to trust that they're allowed to fall apart. Systematically, that trust is built by helping to rebuild a person with them, near them, and for them as an individual with needs and feelings and not a number. If that doesn't sound like the military, it's because it's not. Some people say, well, you knew what you were getting yourself into. No one made you sign up. Yeah, so I suppose we accept the cost of 22. We accept it because it's a number, and that's easier to wrap our own minds around without feeling a bit of it. Humans typically do not break down the same way a Humvee or an LMTV might. The repair and care of personnel is less straightforward. We motor pool Monday to maintain our vehicles as a unit, but day after day demand consistent, continuous peak performance from our personnel. As the cadence goes, tell me why does a soldier have to die? And you wonder why.